Hello and welcome to What's the 411, your source for news, sports, entertainment, and lifestyles. I'm Andrew Rosario.
And I'm Barbara Bullard. We're at the launch party for What's the 411.
We are also featuring a salute to Black Broadway. Barbara, let's check out the honorees.
Good evening, I'm Barbara Bullard with What's the 411, your source for news, sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. I'm here with two gorgeous, handsome men, and I'm so honored here. I'm here with Kevin Anthony. Hey, Kevin.
How are you, darling?
I'm great now that I'm sitting next to you guys.
Call me gorgeous.
Yes, he's gorgeous. And Sean Hogsworth.
It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure having you both here at What's the 411. They're being honored today for the Vanguard Award. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
we
you.
are really honored.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Long time coming.
It's been a long time.
B2 Productions. Let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about B2 Productions, the number two.
The number two. Well, you know, B2 actually stands for Black 2. So everything that we do really kind of supports our community of color. Actually Latino, Asian, African American, you know, but the community of color. And in 2002, Sean and I was in New York, Sean was in California, and we talked and we said, you know, we need to do something. So he moved from California, came to New York, we sat on my love seat in Harlem, started conceptualizing what it was that we wanted to do, and he came up.
We sat on a seat in Harlem. It wasn't necessarily just clarifying.
It sounds nicer with the love seat. This is what we go back and forth with. It's a love seat because there was love. We were seated and there was love.
We had love for our community.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
But anyway, Sean actually came up with the name Black to Broadway, and it was just immediately, it was brilliant, and we knew that it was the name that we were going to do, and we wanted to just support performers of color on the Broadway stage who people still wanted to see, who were still viable, but may not have been getting that recognition that they once had when they were actually on the Broadway stage. And so we started this monthly event.
Statistically, at that point, we had about 1,700 performers of color who were in equity. Mm-hmm. Less than 5% of them were working, and there was over 10,000 or 10 or 15,000 equity performers as a whole. So proportionately, we had all of this passionate color that was not, you know, that wasn't out there working. So we wanted to create a stage and a place and a time for performers of color to come together and show who we are and what we do and why we do it so well. And that's what we did.
Speaking of color, let's talk about the 34 countries that you've been to, and how does that affect B2 Productions? How does that kind of merge? Tell me.
You know, I mean, I've been blessed and fortunate to have seen the world and to have done a lot of traveling. But you know what? No matter where I go, there's like one thing that is just universal, and it's love. And music is a universal language, and so you can be in any country, and where there's music, you may not speak that language, but you understand. And you know, the theater community and the community of color, we are filled with music, and so therefore we're filled with love. So we just bring that international zone to New York, to Harlem in particular.
Woo! And speaking of the international zone, you know, let's talk about community. I hear that you're the man about town in terms of nonprofit. Can you tell us a little bit of how B2 works?
Black to Work
Yes.
is the nonprofit arm of B2 Productions, and it's focused on grant making, providing space and opportunity for performers of color, seeding new works. We've done everything from the Atlanta Hip Hop Film Festival and being a sponsor to support for that. We are very, very involved in the city of Asbury Park. We're going to be bringing in some talent, and we are seeding their young people and their the school system currently. And then it's been as simple as providing rent subsidies for performers who needed them at particular points, or rehearsal space, or seating new productions by performers of color. So it's wide ranged, but focused really on seating our works by our community and making them available to the world.
Fabulous. Now, when you guys sit on that love seat, as you call it, okay, tell me. I love these guys.
His words.
What's next?
And now we're going to see
love
what happens.
seat. Remember, it's a
we'll
love
see what
seat.
happens next.
What's next? You know, it's really amazing. We started about 7 years ago. We do an annual Tony Award viewing party, which is fantastic. We honor a particular show, a Broadway show, Ain't Misbehavin', The Wiz, Dreamgirls, and we try to accumulate the original cast members. We have a celebrity host, and there's food, and there's cocktails, and we all watch the awards together and cheer on. So that's one of the things that we do. We also are, about 20 years ago, before Black to Broadway, there was an LA performance series that actually Sean spearheaded called Singers LA. So the next thing that we do in July is we're going back for a 20-year anniversary of that show. It's going to be crazy huge and incredible, from Tata Vega to, you name it, even B. Slade on the bill. So we're going to be doing that. We've got an off-Broadway production that we're working on with one of the recording artists that we now have a management arm to our company. So, yeah, there's a lot on the plate.
So tell me.
I love her.
How do people find you? I mean, I want to find you.
You have to look. Yeah. You have to look. No, we're accessible. We are, the thing about that we have come to understand about leadership and about what we're doing is it's not ego driven. It really is. It's something that we're doing because we're passionate about it, because it's who we are for our community, and it's not something that is flash driven. So we're extremely accessible. We can't do everything, but we do our best to bring the best to the top and to present it and make it available. Either we're going to produce it or we're going to hand it on to other arms that can produce it. And I am going to say this July 5th show in Los Angeles is bringing together, we've lost some of our greats, Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson and so many others.
Yes.
But these singers that are coming together in Los Angeles are the sounds of these people, and their names that we've heard. It's going to be a private event. We're going to invite some of the media in, but it's going to be something pretty special as well.
Well, I'm excited. I hope that they invite me to come.
You're always invited. Come.
Where we are, you can be.
Love these guys.
Make sure of it.
But can I give our website, though?
Of course.
Please.
So our website, if you want to find us, and we hope that you do, outside of Googling us, you can go to www.black2Broadway, which is what we do, black2broadway.com. And you can find us.
Thank you so much, and congratulations again to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for making us smile tonight and giving us all that energy.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And now for Crystal Henderson, she's going to interview, actually, Marcia Pendleton.
Pendleton.
We need to. I love Marcia too.
Marketing guru.
Marketing guru. Thank you. You know, social media is all the rage. What's the 411 TV is on Google+, so check us out.
Okay, so I did my research on you, and I do know that you're from Philly.
Yes, I am.
And you live in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn right now,
Yes, I
which
do.
I have to give a quick shout out because I'm from Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. And I just wanted to know, where did you come up with the name Walk Tall Girl Productions?
It's a not so long story. My mother always told me to walk tall. When I was growing up, young women weren't as tall as they are today, so I was an anomaly, so my mother told me to walk tall girl, so that's how I got the name.
Okay. So what does it mean for you to be honored for the Audience Development Award tonight? I mean, it's one thing to be honored in Black Enterprise magazine, but to be honored in your community, what does that mean for you, and what does that mean to our community?
What it means to me is that all the days in the hot sun, at festivals like Dance Africa or the International African Arts Festival, and at Circle of Sisters and community-based events at Emmanuel Baptist Church and Brown Memorial Baptist Church. All of that time spent, all of the time spent with artists as we visit churches and do workshops, because I'm a big one for not just having people come to your church, stand up and say, hey, come see my show. You know, I'm about people giving back, giving something to the congregation, so it can come in the form of a workshop and a song, making those kinds of arrangements. The hours that I've spent on the phone, the hours that I have spent online researching, it just makes it all worth it. The times when I wasn't quite sure whether the bills were going to be paid, and I said, I can't do this anymore, this kind of recognition makes it all worth it.
Now you say the hard work put into something like this. I'm an aspiring journalist, and it's really hard. So what advice could you give anyone who's trying to start their business, to start up their own production company? What advice could you give a young black girl coming from Philly?
Well, coming from Philly, coming from any place, and from any place, you just need to make sure that you surround yourself with good people. Two of my friends just walked in the door. You have to make sure that you have a good, solid support system. So when things go crazy, you have someone to bounce it off of. You know, you have the opportunity to say, oh my God, I don't want to think today. You know, like I just want to cry. You have someone to say, that's okay. You better pick yourself up. You better get up out of that bed, and you better go do what you need to do. So a support system is very, very important. I am a Christian, you know, so, but not everybody is. So I would strongly suggest to people, whatever their faith is, you know, to strongly connect with that and to do that on a daily basis. Finally, to make sure that you have a plan, make sure that you're prepared, because if you are not prepared, it shows up. It really and truly shows up. There is a real difference when I'm prepared and when I'm not. You know, so be prepared. Be prepared at all times. Do things even when you don't feel like it. Even when you don't feel like it. That last email, that first phone call, you just have to do it. Just do it.
And lastly, what current projects do you have going on right now?
Well, there are several. What I'm most proud of is the board work that I'm doing. I'm on the board of directors of Camille A. Brown and Dancers. Camille A. Brown is an amazing dance artist, choreographer. She's absolutely brilliant. So I'm very proud to be on her board. I'm also on the board of directors of the Black Theater Network. I'm the public relations person. Black theater is so important, because without Black theater, there would be no Black Broadway. We need to be clear about that. Also, Project One Voice. We're a small nonprofit, but what we do is to celebrate and preserve and promote the legacies of African American theaters and African American playwrights, and we're doing something on the 18th, June 18th, across the country. It's called One Voice, One Play, One Day. On that day, 28 theater companies nationwide will be doing benefit stage readings of The Amen Corner by James Baldwin. You know, the big one here in New York is huge. We have 3 Tony Award winners, and hopefully by the time we do this, we'll have a 4th one involved, because he's been nominated for a Tony. So my board work is really important to me. And my big project right now is an off-Broadway production called The Sensational Josephine Baker. It is a one-woman show with music. Cheryl Howard does it. It's absolutely amazing. And I think that's about it for right now. That's a lot.
And we can find your website. What's the name of your website again?
It's www.walktallgirlproductions.com. You can go on my website and sign up for my email list. I'm on Facebook on Black Theater Online. You can follow me on Twitter at Black Theater Online. So 3 ways to get in touch with me.
On behalf of What's the Fallen, we just want to say thank you and we pay homage to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. You did a great job.
Thank you. And now we're turning it over to Andrew Rosario, who's going to be interviewing Aaliyah Jones-Harvey.
You know, social media is all the rage. What's the 411 TV is on Google+, so check us out.
In 2006, this young lady co-produced Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Aaliyah Jones-Harvey joins us here on What's the 411. Thank you for taking the time to join us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, when people think about co-producers and producers, they think about they're just the money people behind the show, but I'm sure there's a lot more involved in co-producing.
Absolutely. As lead producers, which is a distinction that Stephen Bird, my producing partner, and I are proud to have, we develop the concept, we go after the financing, but then we hire the director, you know, we put together the entire company, bringing on the general manager, the company manager, the accountants, the lawyers. So it's really putting together the entire company from the ground up for each production that we do.
And what about in terms of picking a director, picking the cast? How involved do producers and co-producers get involved?
Well, I mean, it's our prerogative to be very hands-on in that respect, and so with our current production, Streetcar Named Desire, and even the last production, we were very honored to work with Debbie Allen on Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. We started working on it in 2006 and finally came to Broadway in 2008, and then took that to the West End with Debbie Allen. And on our latest production, A Streetcar Named Desire, Emily Mann is directing, and it was fortuitous that we were connected with her and started to hear her story, that she'd spent time with Tennessee Williams and actually worked with Tennessee Williams, which was one of the deciding factors for us as producers.
Well, we'll get to Streetcar in a second, but I just want to jump back to Cat on a Hot Tin Roof for a second. What was that whole experience like for you? What was your mindset going into that play, and what did you actually get out of it?
My mindset was to make money for the investors, and you know, then I walked into the room with James Earl Jones and thought, this is incredible. I don't believe, 2 months ago I was supporting hedge funds, doing financial statements and investor relations for my hedge fund clients, and today I'm in a room with James Earl Jones talking about our vision for the first African-American production of Cat on a Hot Tin Roof on Broadway.
And Cat on a Hot Tin Roof is a classic, just as your previous play. Is it any extra pressure dealing with such classics like that, and especially dealing with classics like that and an all-black cast?
Yes, there is an added pressure because what we hope for in the mix of audience that we bring to a show like this are the die-hard Tennessee Williams fans that know every word, that expect a certain interpretation, and so we hope to please them as much as a new audience member who's never seen Tennessee Williams but enjoys one of the cast members or is a fan of a cast member. So.
What's the racial makeup of the audience? I mean, one would assume that because it is an all-black cast, that the majority of the audience might be might be black. Is that the case there, or is it mixed? Is it, what do you think the percentages are?
It changes. It depends on the day of the week. Okay. With Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, we saw that the audience was heavily skewed towards African American initially, and then towards the middle of the run, it started to become more diverse. And with our current production, it's very mixed on certain days, very homogeneous on certain days.
Okay.
So,
what's the future for you in terms of bringing other plays to Broadway?
Well, I'd love to continue to bring other plays to Broadway. It's always a financial consideration, and for us as producers, we're constantly reaching out for new opportunities to fund classic works. We're looking at more classic works right now that we might do in the future, and also looking at what additional live streetcar we'll have.
Great. And before we let you go, this award that you're receiving tonight, congratulations. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm really honored, and it's especially wonderful for me to get a Vanguard Award, because I've always looked at myself as someone who would take the path, that had not been followed, and so I feel like this is symbolic of that, and I'm very honored.
Congratulations, and great luck coming up in the future.
Thank you.
All right, and when we come back, Kizzy Cox will be talking with James Wooden Jr.
Hit us up on Facebook and Google+.
So you're being honored with the Humanitarian Award tonight. Like, what does that mean to you to receive this award?
I'm extremely honored and pleased, and I guess I'm a couple of the young people that I've worked with in the past are here tonight. So and I'm tired.
I know, it's been a long day. 5 a.m. you said you woke up?
Yeah.
Okay. But we won't keep you too long, but we do want to get into some of the work that you have done with the young people, because I understand that you've done the Ma'afa Suite for many years, directed it for about 14 years. You've also worked at Mount Pisgah Baptist Church, and some of the young people have gone on to do tremendous things. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, Kimberly Marable is presently the understudy for the lead in Sister Act. And I got to see her, and I was like blown away. And the director was there, Jerry Zaks, that afternoon, so they did a talk back. And he just had nothing but great things to say about her, and I just was so proud. I couldn't have been more proud if I had been her father. And his buttons were just popping off his vest, So, yeah, Ken Marable. Yeah, yeah.
So what does it mean to you to be able to hone young talent like that?
It's a privilege. It really is, because one of the things that I believe in doing this kind of work, theater is being a witness, telling the story, and to encourage people in those kind of endeavors. It's an honor.
I hear that. As a former actor myself, I want to know, as a director, can you see talent from far away? Do you know who's going to make it?
No. No, but I mean, people show up and they blow you away. They come in the room and they just turn it out, blow the roof off of it, and you go, yeah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna say, all you can say is yes, thank you.
So you're just bearing witness to the talent that is there.
That's it.
Okay, so I just wanted to go back to the Ma'afa Suite for a moment, because I understand that it is a really powerful and prestigious production. So talk to us about what that is and the importance of that production.
The Ma'afa Suite is about the Middle Passage and the history of Africans in America. And so once again, it's bearing witness, it's telling the story. And I got that phrase from James Baldwin. And so that's always been my goal, because I thought when I started, when I was in college, I thought I was going to be a writer. And it turns out that I ended up putting myself right there on the line performing, and so I do a little writing now, but the Ma'afa was a tremendous experience, and people are very moved by it, and it was an honor.
No, I can imagine, because I understand that it's singing, it's speaking, it's reenacting. I mean, I can understand that it's a really powerful experience.
It's psychodrama. is what it is, because it asks you to give yourself to the experience and let it happen to you, which is what good theater is supposed to do. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned good theater because, there is a little bit of a resurgence right now in black theater and people making it to Broadway. And yet we still want to kind of draw more black people into the theater to actually see these plays.
Right.
What do you think the answer to that is?
I think it's encouraging young people to come out and see, and making the ticket prices accessible. I mean, Streetcar is a great example. I was so pleased and proud to be sitting there in the audience in the previews watching Blair Underwood and oh my God, I can't remember her name. The lead, Blanche. She plays Blanche, but Nicole, Ari Parker, right? And they were wonderful. And Wood, Harris, they were wonderful. It was really exciting.
No, I can see it. I can see your face lighting up through a true theater person.
I mean, it's one of my favorite plays, and to see it reinterpreted was great.
I can't wait to see that one either, because I read it in college, but I've never actually seen it, and so it would be great to see it with this cast.
Terrific.
Okay, so speaking of, works and working, what are you working on right now?
I'm about to stage the gala for George Henry Murray Preparatory Academy on Thursday. The first annual gala. Right.
That's a lot of work.
Well, yeah. Jennifer Holliday is the featured performer. Right.
Very, very nice. Well, continued success. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Kizzy. Thank you.
Barbara, what a fabulous night. We launched What's the 411?
And we celebrated Black Broadway.
If you missed any part of the show or want to see any of the interviews in its entirety, go to our website, www.whatsthe411.com.
And hit us up on Facebook and Google+. I'm Barbara Bullard.
And I'm Andrew Rosario, and that is the 411.
This show was brought to you in part by My Arena Lounge.